Hey there, thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at a game called Dustland Delivery. The game was actually suggested to me by one of my imaginary friends, so I did decide to put some hours into it. And first of all, I can say that I really love the game, and second, it is really underrated and underappreciated in the community, I think. You don't find many YouTube videos about this game, and also on Steam, it doesn't look like many people are really playing this game. And I think it deserves a lot more attention because there's a lot more to the game than that first impression that you get. In this video and in the description, you will find some chapters, because what I'm going to do, first I'm going to play the small tutorial that comes with the game, and then I will start explaining a little bit about the UI elements. If you don't like that, skip over it and go to the chapter called Action, please. You will jump straight into the action if that's your preference. For anybody that is planning or is interested in playing this game, I would advise let's do the tutorial and let's do the UI elements, because yeah, I think this is really a cool game. Alright, we're gonna start the game. So I have a small tutorial, and that is also my first note of criticism. The tutorial really doesn't show what the game is about, because when we play the tutorial, you see it's a little bit about trading, and you think, is this it? Is this really it? About trading back and forth? And yeah, I think they should really have a better tutorial, because it really would showcase the game a lot better, because there's a lot of depth to the game. But let's get into the tutorial. The Dustlands are a weird and wild place. Safe travels on the long road ahead. Alrighty. Welcome to the Dustland Delivery Driving School, where you'll learn how to make deliveries in a land filled with maniacs and monsters. I'm ready to go. Really? You're ready to go? You haven't even started your truck, champ. Now go buy some fuel and start your truck. What a hassle. Okay, so we have to buy some fuel. Let's click on the tasks. Buy 500 units of fuel. We do that in the store. Fuel, you click buy. This is the first thing I need to explain, actually, because the moment I start sliding this slider, you can actually see that the price changes. So right now, because this is abundant in this city, that's why it's green, they have a lot of fuel, so they actually give me a deal on the pricing. But the more you buy, you will see that the profit versus the base price, which is the difference between the base price for fuel, is normally 1, but we get it at 0.8 for this amount. You actually see that the price go up. Right now we're actually making a loss, relatively speaking. But if you kind of fine-tune that, we have to buy 500, so I'll just buy 600. You can kind of see that this goes up and down. So first, you would get a profit, and at some point you would actually start paying extra for the fuel. Alright, quantity 600. Let's close this. Now we should be able to start the truck. Requires fuel 1000, we have that. Great, now let's test your driving skills by driving to a nearby city. Open the map, then right-click to set a waypoint. Okay. Confirm. Task. Does it want us to go to a specific city? Head to Muchagua. A lot of water there, I guess. Muchagua. This is driving school. This is Muchagua. Right-click. 457 kilometers. And we can just click depart here, or you can close this and click leave city and set out. Here we go. This is basically where we spend most of the time in this game, in this truck. Right now we have 1 driver, but you can expand that to the point where you have 4 drivers or even more, depending on the layout of your truck, and you can upgrade your truck in that, but I will get to that in the next section about the UI elements. So on the map you can see that we're making progress. We're almost there. Now there. You have arrived in Muchagua. Situated at the foot of a snow-capped mountain, this city uses its ample water to grow rice. First visit to Muchagua. Courier gained 106 experience points. Impressive. Well, not really. You drove down a straight road across a flat plain. Anyways, let's move on to the next task. Bring it on. Blah 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 blah. We buy a ton of rations in Muchagua, sell the rations in Tayaton. We buy tires in Tayaton, then sell those back here. So you're gonna basically be trading back and forth. Now, you can see on the map, you can see that Muchagua has needs. They need tires, but they produce rations. So they have an abundance of rations, which we're going to take to the next town, which is Tayaton, because they need rations and they produce tires. So they kind of it's positive for them to trade with each other. Now we're going to be that facilitator, so we're going to buy stuff. So we buy the abundant item normally. Let's buy some rations. How much do we have? You can see that that small scrap that I have, I only have 1,236. So let's buy, let's see, can I do 40? Oh, that's nice, okay. So that's it. The task basically is telling us to go trading, which is great. We go to the map, we reset our waypoints from the previous one. You don't need to do that, but now when I right click here, there's no straight line available. It wants to go through the mountain, so it stops right here because we cannot go through the mountain. So I will do this and right click here. That's the path, let's go. We have some trading to do. To the left up, you see that there's infections number that goes up and down. That is how the region is infected, the infection level in the region, and how risky it is to use. 0% basically means we don't run any risk right now. Unless we would stop and start camping and do stuff in the same spot, that risk might go up. But right now we're pretty safe. Because this is a post-apocalyptic world, similar to kind of like, I would Mad Max. It gives me really the Kenshi vibe for people that are familiar with that game. A little bit of RimWorld in it. But yeah, so basically it's literally a world that is now infested by, well, the infected, and there might be mutants or zombies, I don't know the details. Anyways, the crew is exhausted. There's a little tooltip here. Your crew has become fatigued. You can rest to reduce your fatigue by a moderate amount, or set up camp and sleep to reduce it by a ton. Okay, X this out. They will not drive when they're fatigued. You cannot do anything. So also when I get attacked, I cannot defend myself. I'm too tired, which is great. So that is risky. So we can do rest, which will take some of that fatigue away. So you have hunger, fatigue, stress, and thirst. I'll get to that later as well. If you rest, you can see we took a little bit away, but it's enough for us to continue our trip. Camp, I will show later on. Set out again. We are almost there. So you have arrived in Tireton. The city grows rubber plants to fuel its flourishing tire industry. Great. We get some experience because this is our first visit to that little city. Go to the store. They need rations. We have 60 in the truck. I think I bought 30, so I'll just sell 30. We made a profit. We made about, what did we have? 1,236, so we made about 400 profit, give or take, if I remember correctly. And then we need to buy tires. Let's see how far we can go. Now, first of all, we don't have the money, but you can see that the profit that we're making, relatively speaking, because we're still spending money, goes down. So I usually try to find that peak. And kind of maybe sometimes go a little bit further like this. You know, so I make 275 profit for this load. Which doesn't mean that I get that profit when I sell them, because at the place where I sell them, they might actually be in need of tires, so they would actually pay me more, because that profit is compared to the base price for tires. I hope that doesn't sound confusing. Alright, now we're pretty tired. There's not much to do in the city. I will explain that later, because in some cities you actually have an inn where you can sleep and get some of your fatigue away and your stress. But we're just going to leave the city. I'll probably see if I can set out and camp somewhere to show you that part. Because we're getting really tired. Okay. So we're still there actually. I should have reset that, but we're in the city, so I cannot camp because they will not allow that in the city. So let's just go there. Your crew is exhausted. I forgot, in the tutorial they will allow you to camp in the city grounds, I should say. Alright. So now that we set up camp, look at the beautiful tents here. We can sleep. There's also some other options available in the future, but let's sleep. You can see that the fatigue goes down a lot more, but it takes a lot more time. And besides the fact that this is a tutorial, in the normal game, this risk will go up and you risk getting attacked the longer you sleep and spend time in one spot. We have to keep that in mind. But right now, this is just a tutorial. Let's get that trade done. We can click on the weather forecast. In 1 hour it's going to be sunny. In 5 hours it's going to be cloudy. Here you have the time. We are on day 1. 1 PM, give or take. Honkhorn is cute, but what it also does is, because of the sound, it actually can draw attention, so it increases your risk. So right now in the tutorial, in the safe grounds here, we can honk as much as we want, I think. You can see that the fatigue goes really, really fast by now. You have arrived in Muchagua. Yep, we know what it is. We're going to go to the store and we're going to sell those tires. We had five. I think I bought 25 or something like that. You can see that this goes down. But let's just do this. You can see that our money goes up. Very, very nice. The instructor basically wanted us to have a certain amount of scrap to qualify, which we did. Task completed. Great job. He basically takes our money. Yeah, we'll just say fine, there's nothing we can do about it. And that was the tutorial. Alright. So the next section, I'm going to start the game, and I'm going to talk about the UI elements and the menu kinda. I will do my best to do it quick. Alright. This is still in early access, so some of the maps are not available yet, and they're updating it quite regularly. I'm very excited about this. But we're going to pick the Haggard Plains, normal. Dustlands are a weird or wild place. We have seen that message before. So here you can pick your characters. There are some characters that are pre-made, like a mercenary, a bard, adventurer. You can see the stats here. If you play any kind of gaming, you're familiar with these stats: intellect, fitness, appetite. The higher the appetite, the more they want to eat, drink, hunting. The higher the skill, the better they are usually. Except for appetite, because that's usually detrimental for them to eat a lot. They have some traits. She's a lone wolf, for example. So when this character is the only crew member, she gets a bonus to certain stats. She's a recluse. She cannot party. Partying is a way to reduce stress in the game. She's a troublemaker, so when she enters a bar where you will actually spend quite some time, she risks to get kicked out. A homophile, so she basically doesn't like to be a trucker of the same gender in the crew. So, okay, we actually are going to create a custom character, and that will actually help me explain a lot more. We have this custom character now, and it's a runner. That is the job. At least I think it is, but I will just call it Mod Skipper. Because if you play a pre-made, preset character, you cannot even change the name. That's slightly annoying. So you have somebody that would be called Merchant the whole time, and would be referred to as Merchant. So I'll just do Mod Skipper Mod. Now, we can select our truck. This is the truck you normally start with. I'm going to keep it that way. So you can see that the hull has 100 strength. Comfort level is 3. It's kind of low. The higher the comfort level, the longer it takes for them to be fatigued. The max load basically says how much we can load on the truck. Power, it's self-explanatory. Fuel use, self-explanatory. The max crew is 4. As you can see that we had 4 places in our cabin. So you can see, check out some other trucks. For example, this one can carry a lot more, but uses a lot more fuel. Longer strength, it's a stronger hull, I should say, but only comfort level 2. So yeah, I'm just going to stick with this one. Then I can assign my points, like it's AD&D. And I want to assign my points in a way that I want to develop my character. You can play this in so many ways. What I want to do is basically build a character that is going to be kind of self-sufficient on the road. So we have 40 books to allocate. You can see that some skills upgrade by 2, by 4, by 4, by 4. But some also use more books. So if I want to upgrade attack, it only uses 1 book to get 2 more points. So I'll do that. So that puts us at 5. Defense. 3 books to allocate, and then I can get to 10 defense. Our focus is pretty important in the game. Speech is pretty important. Crafting is a path you can take. It's not the path I want to go. I basically want to get a trucker that is really good at shooting and hunting, because along the road you can hunt. It might not be the best way to play it, of course. I mean, I've only touched the top of this game, scratched the surface of this game. It's so extensive. So virtue, that is something really important, because you can't really easily change that unless you do start questing in the game. So I'll start with 10. Because if your virtue is low, you might actually be rejected from certain villages and towns because they don't trust you. Farming, it's not what I'm going to do. Husbandry is basically dealing with animals. So that is what I want to do, because I want to get a hunting dog. Cooking, I'm going to leave that the way it is. Hunting, I will increase. Charm, it cost me 3 books to get +1. I don't know what charm really does, to be honest. Maybe it's really good to get because you can also hook up in this game. You get companions and a lover and stuff. I didn't get to that phase yet, so I can't really speak of experience there. So we have 18 books left. I really want to focus is kind of used for your shooting skills. So if I spend 5, I get +3. But I also want husbandry higher and hunting higher. So let's do hunting. So it puts us at 13. Yeah, it goes pretty fast now. I have to spend 6 to get +3. So is there anything else? Let's put crafting on just 10, just to be on the safe side. I'll put more here. Focus. I spend 2 here, I can get this at 7. I really, really would like to have more focus, but I don't have the points. Let's do husbandry. So that basically is all our books. Then we can select some traits. You might be familiar with this. I can actually take a negative trait that will give me an extra trait point that I can assign to the good ones. There's a lot of stuff you can choose from. Really a lot of stuff. I've been looking into that. I'm not going to go over it all, but I've been looking into that. One of the aspects of the game is you build up stress and you build up fatigue. So fatigue you can kind of fix by stopping along the road. You can take a nap, or you can sleep, or whatever you want to do. You can sleep in an inn in a town. But stress is more difficult to handle, at least in my opinion. So I want somebody who's basically stresses less and has a higher stress limit. So let's see. There is a way. You can cook certain foods, and I'm sorry if this makes you dizzy, this whole scrolling here, because I don't see a scroll bar. I can drag it like this. Let's see, a foodie. Okay. There is a way to cook foods that actually reduces stress if you eat it. So what I want to do is basically I want to make sure that eating already reduces stress. It costs me 2 trade points. They will not eat anything that is normally stuff that you don't eat, like zombie food or human flesh or stuff like that, of course. But what I want to do is I want to get 1 point. I'm going to make him a picky eater, peckish. That actually means that you eat faster, sorry. And what I'm trying to do here is that I want to make sure that my character is hungry a lot. It sounds kind of like paradoxical. But because the character's hungry a lot, the character will eat a lot and then will start eating food that will reduce stress. So at that, you basically sacrifice the amount of food and you lower your amount of stress, if that makes any sense. So I want to do that. Then I have 1 point left. Let's see, where's it at? And it's an optimist, so I'm actually going to increase the stress limit. So it takes longer for this character, even if they start stressing, to get stress to the point where they will refuse to do anything or they go ballistic. Basically, I'm making a trade-off between food and stress. I hope I kind of explained that properly. Alright. So this is my character. I do want to have a male. Let's get a mod. Okay, we'll just keep it straight here. We can buy extra supplies, so you can buy extra water, tires, fuel, ammo, and so forth. I'll just scroll down a little bit. Wood, tea leaves, spices. I'll just keep it the way it is. We have 4,000 scrap to start with. I do want to buy extra equipment. You can actually see, if you click here on the icon itself, what the equipment does. So what I want to start with is a gun. And we're going to start with a crude rifle to keep it simple. It uses 1 bullet each shot. It has an accuracy of 30% and does between 1 and 5 damage. Select. I'll buy 1. That goes in the truck. Then I want to buy a hunting dog. There's no different types of hunting dogs, it just shows 1 hunting dog. Select. 1. Keep in mind that dog will eat 2, by the way. So that will actually increase your appetite, so to speak. I'm not sure if you can see that. Appetite plus 1. So you will eat basically instead of the dog. But you will use more food. Okay, then in order to increase the accuracy, you can buy certain things that you can attach to your rifle gun, like a scope. I'm going to go for the vertical grip. This accuracy plus 10. Let's see what this is. Accuracy plus 10 as well, but it costs more. So I'm just going to buy this one. Click. So, confirm. So we have 3,120 scrap left. The last thing we need to do is assign the relationship, the reputation points, the faction relations. These are the factions. We'll learn more about that as we play the game. I will put usually all of them around 10. I don't care about the Dust Wolves. I just want to play it that way. I'm not an expert, so maybe this is really, really a bad decision. But I just want to showcase the game, and everybody can play whatever they want to do, because there's, like I said, so many options. We have 5 points remaining. I'll just do this. There we go. A little bit better here. This can actually influence certain decisions in the game. First of all, how they look at you, how they treat you, if they will welcome you in their towns. Also, if you start trading, which is also an aspect of the game, with one of your towns, yes, that is also an aspect of the game. You can actually have settlements and towns that you control. and that will generate income for you, they look at certain numbers here in order to see if they want to trade with you. We'll all get to that. Like I said, this game, especially because of the tutorial, you think it's only about driving back and forth and trading, and that is literally like 1% of what the game is really about. And that's why I'm hoping that they will fix the tutorial to make it more of a better showcase for their own game. Alright, we have set up a character, mod skip or mod, let's go. And so it begins. Until today you were just another ordinary Dustlander, a small-time merchant in Valleyville. It was a simple life, but a comfortable one, and you never saw the Dustlands with the cynicism others seem to. Looking out into a vast world you had hardly set foot in, you saw opportunity and adventure. An unknown waiting to be known. One day you decided you weren't going to waste any more time, and sold all your worldly possessions to buy a truck. Great. You've just picked up your truck from a dealership outside the city. Now it's time to return to Valleyville to get the rest of your belongings. Let's hit the road. Confirm. So our first task is drive to Valleyville. We can locate this on the map. There's a truck. There's Valleyville. Right click. I'm not going to drive just yet because I'm talking about the UI first. Let's start in the left upper corner. This shows how much money we have. This shows how much fuel we have. And if you click on the question mark, it will show you how much or how far we can get with that fuel, assuming that we drive 40 kilometers per hour. The speed of the truck is dependent on the terrain and the weather. Right now we have sunny plains, so there's nothing impacting our horsepower. The moment it starts raining, it will have a negative impact on the horsepower and your maximum speed goes down. Also, for example, if you start driving in mountains or forest, you will see that this has a negative impact on your horsepower, and again, the speed will come down. It can get to the point where you cannot drive at all, because, for example, it could be snowing in the mountains, or there could be a dust storm in the desert, and you might be stuck. It depends on the situations, but often enough, I would say maybe 50-50. You will be driving at full speed, and 50% of the time you will be dealing with some kind of detrimental effect, so to speak, weather or terrain. Okay, so the fuel shows you how far you can get, which is quite a bit. Remember, because our little trip to Valleyville is on 173 kilometers, and we right now have enough for 7,000, so this is pretty decent, assuming that we have fair weather. Alright, water, 50 plus 50, that actually stands for the amount of clean water that we have, and dirty water. Let me show it here. We have clean water 50 and we have wastewater 50. You can boil this and clean this in several ways to make it clean water so you can drink it better. Then it also says that we have 52 days of drinkable water. So ammo, it's for your gun. We have 100 rounds of bullets. Food, we have 49 days of food left, which is quite a bit because hopefully we will hit a town every 2 or 3 days. We have 10 spare tires. We have clout. That basically means that there's a certain reputation indicator, so it's a certain rep that we have that we can use to either get certain things done or intimidate people. We'll get to that too. Creds is a way to convert your scrap into creds. I've not done that. I've not touched this. I've not done anything with this, to be honest. It states that we have guns in our inventory, but we haven't equipped them. So we're going to do that right now. Inventory, the easiest way to do this is click on the character. Okay, I know I'm male, but I look really very female. So, okay, it is what it is. Let's equip a gun. Remember, we bought that crude rifle. Equip. And you can see that the accuracy right now is a total of 45. And 1 ammo, 1 per round. We can attach something to the gun because we bought that vertical grip, so this will go to 55. Not bad, not bad. And we have that little hunting dog. Now the hunting right now, we already had like 16 points or something, 13 points. And we have 13 in husbandry. Now you'll see the hunting go up. 26. So that is really awesome. So that is quite a high number for the beginning, I think. We need to do some hunting at some point. Okay. On the right hand side, we are not in the city, so we can rest, take a quick little nap. We can set up camp. We can start setting out on the waypoints, start driving. We can cool our engine. This is the engine temperature. Right now it's at 0 out of 200. This will fill up normally depending on how much you drive. At some point it starts overheating. You can cool it with water. Check tires. We have 10 tires equipped. And they're all at 100% because we haven't done anything. You can repair. You can repair your hull, your tires, your engine. Everything is in great shape right now, of course. Forecast you've seen before. Honk horn. See, it will immediately increase the risk. We should be safe though, hopefully. Nothing is happening here because it's 7 o'clock in the morning, day 1, or day 0. It's spring, that's the season, so I can imagine, no, I have not played that long, so the moment you hit winter, you're going to be dealing with a lot of bad roads and snow, but I've not played that far yet, sorry. Okay. Here you can see the weather impact on your horsepower. I kind of explained that. There's no conditions. For example, if you start driving in a swamp, then the condition will say that you cannot put down a camp there. This is very important because the moment your driver is too tired, you can only take a quick rest. You cannot camp. So you have to keep that in mind because it can really, really, really hurt you in the end. Right. Over here, we see that we use 8 fuel per hour. We have comfort level 3, which is kind of a little on the low side. This is the hull. It has 100%, basically 100 out of 100 hit points. The hull can take damage when you get attacked, for example, or can also take damage if you drive through certain obstacles. 10 tires equipped. This is the heat. This is just the speedometer. And on the right-hand side, you can automate a lot of stuff. You can tell them to automatically eat, so you don't constantly have to keep an eye on their hunger and their thirst. And if you have more than one person in the cabin, you can have them swap driver. When this guy gets too tired, then another person can take over. So that is really helpful. You can automatically swap tires. I don't do that. And you can automatically stop for dust storms. I don't do that either. We'll be confronted with these, and we'll deal with them. Right. Crew. Basically, that will give you the numbers. What is related to your crew. I think it adds up. So, for example, right now we only have one person. So the hunting, as you've seen, was 26. But let's say that we have another person with hunting 5. I think this would be 31. I will keep an eye on that because I'm not 100% sure. But these numbers reflect the strength of your crew. So I'm not sure if it's an average or if it adds up. I think it adds up. Faction. You can see the factions here. We picked these points at the beginning. You can join a faction. I've never done that. But you can see the benefits of joining the faction. Each city controlled by Tyrannus grants +3 cloud per week. So you can have cities or towns. We'll get to that too. And that is why I said this game has a lot more depth than you think it does. And I've seen some videos. I'm not going to lie about this. I've actually watched some videos of people play online. And most videos that I've watched, they never get to that point. They keep driving around in the truck and they're just trading back and forth. And that's basically the video that they have on YouTube. And it doesn't really do the game justice at all. We don't join any faction just yet. Parts. Interesting this. Because this is basically, you can add stuff to the truck that will improve certain things. For example, you can add stuff that will make it easier for you to drive in certain weather conditions like rain or snow or dust storms. That will have less of a negative impact on your horsepower. You can also add, for example, something that will improve your shooting skill for your crew members. Besides that, you can also upgrade your truck. That has nothing to do with these slots. These slots are basically trinkets. But when you get to a town with a repair shop, you have the chance to spend scrap and upgrade your truck. You can, for example, make it bigger so it can carry more cargo, or you can actually increase the number of people that can be in the truck or increase the comfort level. Again, I'm sorry to be repetitive. We'll get to that. Then you can craft. And this is another aspect of the game. So you can learn blueprints and you can craft certain things on the right here. Just to give you an indication, you have to use books and you have to have a certain intellect level that determines your success. So right now my intellect level is not high enough to have 100% success when I want to learn this pipe gun blueprint. You cannot learn on other roads. You have to go into a library, which some towns and cities have a library, so you can learn there, spend your books and take a gamble, and hopefully you can learn that blueprint. And then you can see here on the left, this is what you need to craft that pipe gun. So this is not what you need to learn it. The learn is just based on books. So, but you can have a lot of stuff that you can learn. So you can gun parts, clothing, headwear like a beanie bandana. You can see it all, helmets. And you need resources for that you can find along the way. Yeah, there's just so much you can learn here. And then this is the items that we have in the truck. These are the resources that we normally trade back and forth, plus the water that we drink, the salt you can use for cooking, the medikit to heal yourself if it's needed. And these tabs are empty right now, besides the food. This is some food that we have that we can use. Alright, I think this is mostly it for the UI. I will explain more things as we actually go into cities and towns, because there's other options available also when we start camping. I'm not going to do that just yet. Let's just start playing the game, because I know a lot of people have been waiting for the action. So the first thing is, as you know, we have to drive to Valleyville. Apparently we have some possessions there, so we're going to do that right now. And I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Not long after setting out, you remember a story an old-timer once told you about some hapless trucker who got so tired while driving through the Dustland that he fell asleep in the middle of a plague zone. The infected didn't let him sleep for very long. You think it might be wise to hire some help once you get to the city. Hint, you can hire new crew members at the bar. Okay, so that's basically kind of a really good hint. Let's hire somebody else. So that is added to the task screen. Not much we can do there. That's set out. We're almost there, I think. That's completed. You have arrived in Valleyville, a large city in the central Dustlands, a lawful place with abundant resources and well-built amenities. First visit to Valley, so we actually gained 600. Modskipper gained 600 experience points. Arriving in Valleyville, you withdraw the remainder of your scrap. Apparently we had some money laying. That was great. It should be enough to get you started. You also discover that you have inherited 2 land deeds, one in Tyrannus and one in Starlight City. They have been gathering dust for so long that you're not even sure which ancestor left them to you. You figure that these deeds are your birthright, so you might as well try to claim them. Let's go. You gain 3,000 scrap, 6,000, very nice. And a core, you can use this sometimes to upgrade your truck. Speaking of, we are now in a city, and if you go to your repair shop, you can upgrade your truck. And you can see for example, you can upgrade it so it uses less fuel, a stronger hull, one more comfort level, more storage, tires wear out less often, and you need some cores to actually increase your cab or cabin so that you have one more crew member. This is not something that I'm going to do anytime soon. I think the comfort level might be interesting. I'm going to leave that be. Right, so we have another task. So we have apparently 2 deeds for property. One is in Tyrannus and one is in Starlight. And we still were hinted and advised to get a helping hand. Okay, while we're here, there's some other things you'll see now. Let's first look at the amenities that I was mentioning. So this town, if you look at the upper left corner, it has a bar, a store, a library, repair shop, and rent storage. So you can actually store items there in case your truck is too full and you want to keep traveling back and forth. So you can store some items there. If you look, for example, some other cities and towns here, this Reedville, for example, only has a bar and a store. So you cannot, for example, learn blueprints there. There's no library. You cannot upgrade your truck there. There's no repair shop. So you can go over the map here. Quick note about the map. Anything that is reddish, pinkish, orangish is kind of infected zone. I think the more red it is, the infection level goes up. This, where my arrow is right now, infection 50. This is infection 20. And you kind of, if possible, you kind of want to stay clear of that unless you really want to hang out with the infected people. This is Tyrannus, where we have a land deed. And this is where Starlight City. You can see actually in the blue text you have a land deed in Starlight City. Couldn't hurt you to claim it. Normally, if you have a quest or a task, then the city that is relevant to that quest is circled in blue. Alright, let's go back. For the rest, we have a bar and an inn here. In an inn you can sleep. We'll get to that later. In the bar, you can meet people. So for example, some people are available for hiring. Some people you can get frisky. I think that is a very appropriate term. I think everybody knows what that means. And basically, you can do that. And if they accept that and they are willing to partake in that with you, then you can actually lose some of your stress that way. I've never done that in the game. Not in the game, okay? So I've never done that. So basically, I see some people that are unemployed. We don't know what they are. We don't know their stats. It's question mark, question mark, question mark. But let's interact with, for example, this. I think she has cat ears. And she doesn't belong to a faction. So interact. So she's an adventurer. That is interesting because they usually have interesting stats. What do you want to do with them? Like, knows them. Okay, so that might be okay. Because the game is very acceptable to all the sexual orientations, so I'm not sure. Let's catch up. And adventurer are old friends. Modskipper and adventurer are old friends. They chat happily together for a while. Stress relieved. Opinions increased. Nice. Modskipper wants to be friends with adventurer. What do you say? So I have never done this part, so I don't know what that means, friends. I think if we do friends, she would actually join us at the cabin, but I don't know what her stats are, so let's do not now. We gain some experience, not much. We are compatible. I'm optimist and she's happy-go-lucky. So we really like each other. That's awesome. Oh, is she still there? Did she take a hike? Oh, she left, I think. Oh man, no. Oh, okay. I thought she was going to be sitting around and I would actually be able to check out the stats, but that's not possible. Because now I don't see her, because the question marks would say now adventurer. So she left. Well, there's a chance that we might actually run into her again, I think. But let's do, for example, hire. She belongs to Millsack. We can interact. It's a veteran. I'm going to do nada. Nothing. Because now she doesn't run off. Now we see veteran. And if I click on hire, we're going to see some of the stats. So she's also good at hunting, foraging. In order to hire her for our crew, you'd have to spend 2,500. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that impressed with this. Some, by the way, have a mission for you to do a delivery for them. I'm going to look at that in a moment. But some have a bounty, some you can buy junk. This is actually very interesting. It's more important than you at first glance think, because it's called junk, but it's absolutely no junk. So hopefully you can buy something. Fibers, I'm going to buy. Because at some point you can, as you can see, you can learn your own blueprints and you can create your own armor and, you know, you've seen you can basically create almost any item in the game. So, but especially clothing and armor is very handy to have, and in order to do that you need fibers. So that's why I'm talking to the guy that sold me some junk. And was there anybody else that I can hire here? I thought there was another one. We have this one. Yeah, I'm not too impressed with this. So what we can do is we can take a gamble. We can click on the labor market. And then for a smaller amount of scrap, you can hire a farmer, a worker, or a rancher. I'm going to hire a farmer. Okay. Cost us 500. Trucker has joined. Of course, we completed the quest. Let's click out of this for a moment. We're going to see what this farmer has for numbers. Farming is 10. Intellect, virtue. You're probably wondering, why do I want a farmer when we're driving around on a truck? That is because one of the deeds, I'm going to spoil this already, this price up front, is going to give us a small property, and one of the ways we can rebuild that property is by doing some farming. So that's why I'm picking up a farmer that will be able to drive along with me, can do some driving of her own. I think it's a female, isn't it? Yeah, Bernie, I think. Let's double check. Yeah, okay, I'm male. She can get some experience, I can assign her some more skill points and make her better at farming, and then she can start farming in my property. So that's kind of the plan here. So let's go back to the bar, because what we're going to do right now is we are going to pick up some delivery quest. Success rate 36, very interesting. Let's see what this says then. The speech is too low, you utterly failed to strike up a conversation. Great. Get frisky, hire. Get frisky, delivery. Success rate 60%. Well, let's do it. Speech is too low. Why does it say 60% then? So I'm not just striking out? 30%? 100%. Let's do this one. Martial artist. Okay, they're going to give us a quest. Road Construction Bureau headquarters is buying paint to decorate the city walls. Deliver paint bucket, 4 of them, to Road Construction Bureau headquarters. This is provided by client. This is very important, because they're going to give you the paint. Sometimes you have to procure it yourself. It's painful if you start driving a mission and you get there and you realize that they haven't given you anything and that you actually had to find the paint yourself that you were going to hand over at that mission point, at that stage. So they're going to give us the paint. It's a normal difficulty. It's just not easy. Let's see where this is at. Whoa. That's not too bad, really. Not too bad, because we're here. We're going in this direction, though. But this is doable. This is doable. So we're gonna get task. I'm not 100% sure. I think you can only have 3 delivery quests at one point in time. Now, it's better to do it for a certain faction, because then you get also a reputation with that faction. So let's do the guy's syndicate. That's a bounty, though. Let's do Millsack. Okay. Southern Lookout is buying paint. Oh, they also want to buy paint. Whoa, everybody's painting these days. And normal. Let's see what this is at. Oh wow, that is It's really not on the way over there either. How much does it give me? 1,500? No, I don't like that one. No faction. Delivery, no faction. No faction. This is another one. Okay, we don't like each other because we have incompatible traits. Buy. Really? Everybody's buying paint. Okay, where's that? 1900. That must be further away. We're here. We're gonna go that direction, though. Come on, guys. I'm gonna. It's not fantastic, but I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna showcase the game, so I can't really too picky. Anything else that has a faction, that has a delivery? Civitas. Yeah, we were not able to talk to him. Can we try this again? Or you keep trying this? Because we were spending time. Aha, okay. So we have a 36% chance that he's willing to talk to us. We keep trying. It costs us time, but hey, let's see. Oh, we like each other. Okay, great. This is easy. Deliver. Oh, to Tyrannus. Sorry, I keep saying Tyrannus. Tyrannus. We're going there anyways. Okay, let's look at the truck. Whoa, we're way overloaded. Because of all that paint, right? Let's see. We have fiber. Where's that paint at? Did they put the paint in the truck yet? Oh, holy crap. So what I might actually do, I've never done this before, but let's go upgrade my truck. Because we're way overloaded. Okay. So now we can do more, but it's still not enough, is it? Oh, it's not too bad, not too bad. Okay, next. We're going to look at the map. So now you can see that we have more blue circles because we have some delivery quests there. I thought I had 3. Did I only pick up 2? One was here. Let's do that one first of all. The other thing you can do is when you click and hover over Tyrannus, you can see what they need. Salt, sugar, beer, bread, seasoning, blah, 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 blah. The town where we're at, Valleyville, produces, one of the things is, for example, salt. And this one, salt, sugar, beer, bread, seasoning. So we can buy salt here. And let's see. Anything else? Because also we're going to go here. And we're going to go past here if we want to. They need flour, for example. And Valleyville produces flour. So I can pick up some flour. Also, the icon shows how big the city really is. You can also see it by the amenities. Look at Tyrannus, they are bigger, and Valleyville is bigger. This is just a small little town here. So the thing is that they have less money than these towns. So the moment you show a lot of resources or goods there, they might not be able to buy it all because they don't have the money. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. We're going to pick up salt and flour. We'll sell the flour here. We'll sell some of the salt here. I'm going to keep some for cooking purposes. So let's see how much we can actually get. We go to abundant items because they sell what they have too much of for a better price for us. So we're going to buy some salt. And we're going to use that slider. You can see it goes up and then it goes down. Okay, so I'm going to go, let's see, let's do 40 salt. 865. And then we buy flour. I'll just buy 50 seems like a fair price. We have 1,000 left. If I buy salt now, that is kind of painful. They have building materials on sale. I'm actually going to buy that. No, I'm not going to buy that. I'm going to keep that because I don't think any of those towns is buying building materials. No. This one maybe? No. Nope. They actually produce building materials as well, so that's not something I should buy. Is there anything that they need? Tire, fruit, and rubber. Do we make that here? No. Do we make that here? No. Okay. Alright. You can also see the small icons here. There's places of interest. So we can actually stop there. Can be risky. There's a supply cache here. Old route maps say that this was a syndicate's supply station some years ago. We'll just put a waypoint here. Let me first reset. Here. Then we go here. Then we go here. And then we go here. You actually see that this is 2 blue circles. One because of the delivery, one because of the deed. You can see the blue text on the right. It shows both those quests. Alrighty. How are we doing? We have hunger, fatigue, stress, and thirst. You can eat. You can tell them to eat. They usually eat automatically. This is going to be important too. I will explain that in a moment. Drink water. At the moment I click it, they would immediately start drinking water. You can drink coffee, which is actually lowering your fatigue, and drink alcohol, which can lower your stress, but then you're drunk and you can't drive. Then the other person can drive while you're laying in the back of the cabin, totally drunk out of your mind. Now, eat is interesting because you can tell them what to eat. So, for example, you can see that the normal rations, they are really good against hunger, but they give +1 stress. Bread, for example, is also good against hunger, but it actually lowers your stress. That's why it's way more expensive. Vegetables are kind of, you can kind of see here. Now, the interesting part is when you go to your items, and you go to your food, because this is important, rations they will automatically eat. The lock shows that they will not eat pork, not in this shape. This means auto eat off is if I click it, it will lock it. Because it literally is on, but it's telling me to turn it off. Now I can turn it back on. They will automatically start eating that. They will usually start eating the cooked materials, food, before the other ones. Especially when you start cooking, in some cases, because the cooked food is more expensive and it lowers stress, if you don't need the stress to be lowered, you can simply tell them not to touch it. So that's kind of a really nice twist to the game I like. Alright, but let's get going. And we're going to be driving. We're going to check out this special place of interest. Then we're going to go to this town, sell some stuff there. Then we go to this point, and then we go to Tyrannus. Let's go. Leave city. And we set out. So you can kind of see the bars here. The two in the middle are the most important ones. The second one is the fatigue. The third one is the stress. The other thing that I haven't mentioned is you have certain moods. Happy, for example, will increase your stats for speech, focus, and defense while you're happy. You can exhaust, you cannot fight or drive. Stress may trigger stress events. Hungry, wounded, it's all self-explanatory. Let's go. You can see that we're getting thirsty here. They should automatically drink. You get a little notification. Not that one, but it looks like the Syndicate used this place as a storage depot. You can figure out why it has been abandoned. We actually find liquor. Interesting. So let's keep driving. And you'll see that there's going to be a notification where they start drinking. Because we set it up automatically in automation. There you go. Drank water. You have arrived in Reedville. In the middle of this town lies a small pond, lush, seemingly connected to an aquifer. The pond, lush with reeds, is probably the most interesting thing about the place. Yeah, the town names are very, very revealing as to what is going on in that town. Reedville. When you roll into town, an old gentleman waves you down. Are you folks also couriers? He jogs up to the window of your cab. I've got a shipment here for the next town over, but my trail's full up. Could you do me a huge favor and deliver it for me? Sure. We are going to deliver that fuel. Nothing too complicated, just deliver these tanks of fuel over the town next door. I'd make 2 trips, but I really need to get moving. Thanks again. I'll be sure to reward you next time I see you. Great. Now you have to be careful with these quests, because sometimes they trick you, and sometimes it's actually in your benefit, but sometimes you get really the short end of the stick. This flashing little dot shows that we have enough experience on mud. Skipper, not skipper, mud, to actually assign 1 more trade points. So you've seen this before. I really want to focus on shooting. So if I spend 5 books, I have 100. I have 1 trade point. I have 1. So let's spend it on focus. You'll see that normally I think the accuracy goes up. There you go. Nice. Because accuracy is based on determined by the character's focus, their weapon, and its modifications. So, perfect. It's handy to have a good shot, because sometimes you will be attacked, and the combat system is really actually very nice in this game. Task, we got this new deliver fuel task. Let's see what this is at actually. It's over here, we're there. You want to stop here first? Let's reset. We are here actually. Let me go there, there. I'll just change it when I get there. Alright. Are we tired? Well, I want to show this to you. You can go to the inn. You can sleep in a standard room, which costs 20 per person, but it doesn't really remove much of your stress. And then you have the VIP suite, which is better, but we don't have much stress. You can see this little bitty green pass here. So we'll just grab this, and we're all wide awake. Costs us 40 scrap. Let's go. Engine heat is not really high yet. Everything's in good shape. Let's go. There's these random events popping up, so right now we have an abandoned train. We get experience because it's the first time we dealt with it. You find a rusted out train on the tracks. Most of its carriages have derailed. Want to search it for stuff. The longer you search, the riskier you can get. We're in a pretty safe zone, so we can search for 2.5 hours. Give it a good search. I ate some food in the meantime. You find a ton of useful items in one of the carriages. Interesting. Look at that. Some money, scrap, and some rations. That's good. Let's continue. The guy who asked you to deliver this fuel didn't even leave his contact info. A sinister thought crosses your mind. We can actually steal it if we want to, but we're not going to do that. Yeah, how could you think of doing something like that? So that actually increases our virtue because we're such nice, ethically correct people. Set up. And they have these chats, and sometimes they like what they chat about, and then it increases how they look at each other, and sometimes it's a bad conversation, and they don't like each other, so... You have arrived in L24 landfill. This place is filled with unwanted detritus. Understood. We get experience again because it's our first visit there. And now we can search. You can see that the infection is 22. So this is kind of a tricky area, which you could see on the map. It kind of has like a little red circle around it. So we do want to do a search, but I'm not sure if we want to... Let's do 2 hours and 30 minutes. Hopefully we'll actually get in combat so I can show that off. No, we don't have combat, so we found some scrap. And we found a whole bunch of materials that you need to do crafting and learning of blueprints later on. Not necessarily for the learning of blueprints, but if you want to craft some clothing or some gun parts, you're going to need some of this stuff. Alright, you can see that the risk right now every hour is 12% of being attacked. I think that's the risk per hour. Now, we want to leave. It's not really a city, but we'll leave here. We can admire the moon. Let's do that. We might get attacked while admiring the moon, but admiring the moon lowers the stress. It's at 18% right now. The moon is lovely tonight. You feel like you could look at it for eternity. Less stress. Perfect. Set out. Let's keep driving, guys. I mean, when you want to fight, you never get it. Oh, they really like what they were yakking about there. Plus 20 for the way that person looked at the other one. I don't know which one was. You like to look at the weather forecast? Ooh, I clicked too late. Now we have a ticket. Another random event. You come across a small ticket. You think there might be a small animal in there, but you aren't sure. Want to try hunting it. Show off your hunting skill. Crew hunting is over 10. Yeah, we are definitely good hunters, so let's give this a try. Oh, we shot 5 quail. Very, very nice. Let's look at that, by the way. Hunting. Ah, see, look what happened here. Remember, I wasn't sure if it was adding or it takes an average. I think it's actually the average. We have hunting 26. And we have hunting 4, which is 30 combined. So that's basically crew hunting 15. Let's look at attack. We have 9. Let's see if that's also the average. Attack. We have 6. That is... okay. So that is added up. Okay. What about husbandry? 8. 13. Does it even show husbandry? No, it doesn't. Fishing is 7. Sorry, I want to kind of look at this because I didn't know. 6. 9. Okay, so that's the average too. So I need kind of gathering skill. Seems like it's the average. Alright, let's keep driving. So they're talking about it, but there's nothing happening. Wasn't an interesting conversation. Deliver fuel. When you arrive at Crew Town to deliver the fuel, the man from earlier is already waiting for you at the gate. See, I knew I could trust you. Like I said, we're all peers. He chuckles heartily. I actually only need half of the fuel. The rest of it is your reward. Before you can ask his name or how he got here before you, he's gone. Weird, but okay. Ooh, mysterious. We got some experience, and we got some free fuel. Nice. You arrived in Crew Town. This town takes its name from a pre-fall oil well. It's apparently the apocalyptic fall, kind of like Fallout, I guess, which continues to produce small amounts of crude oil to this day. Understood. So get some experience again. Great. And actually, she got a skill point. This is a farmer, so we actually want to upgrade farming. Go. We want to sell some stuff here. Let's go to the store first of all. Let's look what they need. They needed tires. No, they needed... Actually, nothing here, because we were just dropping that quest stuff, right? So they produce fuel, clothing, and milk. Do they need anything of this? They don't. They don't. Now we're gonna make several trips here. What do they need? They don't need any of this either. Okay, so because this is gonna be our next stop here. Alright, so we're gonna talk to in here regarding our land deed, and we're gonna talk here regarding our land deed, and we have a delivery quest there. So I'm gonna make my way over there. I'm not going to talk to the talents guy, the slave trader, right now. It's not something that I actually really explored, so I'm not really sure how that works. But there's no bar here, so there's nobody to hire. Well, the numbers are looking great. Let's go. Well, yeah, I was thinking about buying some fuel, but it's not necessary. Let's go. We have plenty, but they had an abundance of fuel, so the price would be really good. Stockpile that. Now, how's the weight going? Okay, we're doing fine. Okay. So you can see these messages. They're eating and drinking, and they're chatting a little bit, and everybody has fun. The Tyrannus deed. And we got 2 rep from the delivery that we did, and virtue. We completed the task. So we actually got 3 clout, which is part of our reputation. And we got the reputation and relation faction increase as well, and we get 1,000 scrap. Then this is regarding the deed. It talks about the city. Get all the experience. Let's go see the mayor, because of our deed. The mayor is a middle-aged man in an old military uniform. Maybe he was actually a major. His face is weathered with deep-set wrinkles, but his eyes are as sharp as a younger man's. The scuttlebutt back in Valleyville has it that he was born before the fall. You've also heard that the city has been facing some sort of crisis. Lost in thought, the major finally notices your presence. Okay. So he basically, this looks authentic enough, but it's far too old to be valid. Normally we'd compensate you with cash, but I'm afraid the city's finances have fallen on some hard times. So he doesn't want to give us our land. Come on, kid, it's not like that. There's things going on here that you don't understand, alright. Great, got some experience, but he doesn't want to give us our land. You need to find a way to claim compensation for the deed you inherited. This is the deed for Tyrannus, so we have to click to the mayor again. You need to get the city to compensate you for your deed. Blah, 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 blah. So we can trade, threaten, or lie. Let's do trade. If the city's really facing a financial crisis, maybe you could work out some sort of deal. You help out the city, and the mayor gives you your land. You help us? Though the mayor looks skeptical, you can tell he's seriously considering your proposal. Fine. One of our main problems is our lovely neighbor, the city of Civitas. We have to pay them an extortionate service fee every month, or else they send raiders to steal everything that isn't nailed down. So what do you want us to do? The thing that really worries me is their timing. They always raid us when our guard's down, like when the sentries are changing shifts. The only explanation that I can think of is that there is a mole in the city. Before we do anything else, we need to find out who they are. Any suspects? Okay, we're gonna go on a mole hunt. So he thinks there's several people. Apparently a mother and a son that live at the gate, a pawnbroker, a gambler, and a librarian. They're all suspects. Any other leads? I've got a friend who works as a chef up in SM City. He came to me about 6 months ago, told me he had info about a mole in my city. Civitas wasn't even on my radar at the time, so I chalked it up to his overactive imagination. But it sounds like he might have been right. Confirm. Okay, that's all we need to know. So he gives some quests here, and you can see that. The lead, he wants us to go to SM City, and that is quite a journey, by the way. Let me show that on the map. We are here. They want us here. Now the problem with this is that you have several ways to get there. So this is one way, and you can also go that way, which is kind of safer. This is kind of a red zone, but we shouldn't be too scared. We have a nice, accurate shooter in our midst, so it should be okay. But either way, it's quite a journey. Then he wants us also to find out who the mole is, but you basically have to start with this as far as I know. And then I have never completed this quest line, to be honest, because I didn't spend that much time in the game. But that's basically what we're going to do then, as soon as we're ready for that. In the meantime, we got some more trade points available. So we wanted to do some more shooting. Let's focus. Yeah, let's do that. So we're at 61%. It's perfect. It's really going to help you the moment you get attacked, trust me. I'm going to leave it here, guys. Because, yeah, time flies when you're playing this game. Time flies when you're having fun. I've not been able to showcase yet the whole fact that you can actually start your own little village. We'll get to that, and there's actually going to be this one, this land deed here. Going to be happening in the next episode. Frankly, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a full-fledged series about this. I'll see if there's any interest and people like what they see. But I do want to showcase at least some parts of it, and there's definitely going to be 1 or 2 more episodes. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.